Hello guys, welcome to the show. Let's get into news. There is stuff going on medical testing done on Randy Orton after the match with Brock Lesnar. You guys all know what happened and what took place at WWE SummerSlam when Randy Orton had fought Brock Lesnar, and those two had a fight and they were gushed. Brock Lesnar was beating the crap out of Randy Orton and he was gushing with blood. So they had medical done testing on him. Now we all know by now that WWE superstar Randy Orton took quite a beating at the hands of Brock Lesnar a week ago at WWE SummerSlam. And before I get into the news, guys, I didn't like that match. I thought that the Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton match sucked. I didn't like it. I didn't enjoy it, and it should have not been the main event of the night. It should have been Finn Balor versus Seth Rollins, because that match was so much better, was so much entertaining. It drew me in more than the Brock Lesnar Randy Orton match. I knew this match was gonna suck. I knew this match was not gonna be good at all, and look what the outcome was. The match sucked. Now, it has been widely reported that the entire thing revolving around Brock Lesnar and Randy Orton was very fishy. Going into the event, Orton was told that he would have a 50-50 match with Brock Lesnar going over. Then he was told upon arrival that it would be one-sided beatdown. It would be a one-sided beatdown, where that means that Randy Orton would not get much out of it. And that kind of pisses me off as a fan. Why would you let Brock Lesnar do all the work? When you in that ring, you guys got to work together. You can't just have one superstar do it all. Randy Orton has to do stuff too. It can't be all about Brock Lesnar. But I get it, and I understand why they went with that, because, Vince McMahon loves Brock Lesnar. And we know the situation. We know about it. We know what this guy is capable of doing. Now, most of every WWE fan became enraged with the main event of the second biggest WWE event of the year ended in such a terrible way, while the TKO victory was planned ahead of time. So that was planned. Okay, at the time, I thought this wasn't planned, but it was planned. The TKO victory was planned ahead of time. Now, Randy Orton was told the day he came in that Brock Lesnar knew how to graze his head enough to make him bleed the hard way.
Are you made?
Which is obviously true. WWE planned out the entire thing that Lesnar did on paper, but they had no idea that the gash would be open so much on Randy Orton that he would take such major open headshots. I mean, guys, the thing that bothered me is that the trainers were coming out and they were helping Randy Orton because he was bleeding, and the fans were, correct me if I'm wrong, but the fans were literally booing the trainers. Okay, when people bleed, the fans get a reaction. The fans react to it. The fans don't like when this stuff happens because they don't like it. They want the entertainment. They want the blood while they're wrestling. They want that. That's what we enjoy. That's what the fans love. They love that stuff. We love it too. I'm not the only one. The fans out there, they enjoy that stuff. They love watching that stuff. Now, the referees and medical team also had no idea that anything would go the way it did. Why everyone looked so shaken, and why the referee called for the TKO victory as soon as possible. The ref, of course, knew the finish, may have rushed to it. So the referee knew the finish, and that's why he rushed to it. So he knew what the outcome was going to be. He knew what was going on. He knew the plan of that match and what the outcome was going to be. The guy knew about it. Now, you could tell most of the people around had no idea that things were going to be this way. Fans were visibly shaken at ringside after seeing Randy Orton be open and losing blood rapidly. Well, look what happened to Stone Cold Steve Austin at Survivor Series. Do we have to go back in time when Bret Hart took Stone Cold and put him in that damn submission move? Stone Cold was gushing with blood. He was gushing more blood than Randy Orton was. Okay, go watch the WWE Network, okay, and go watch the Bret Hart versus Stone Cold match. You will clearly see that Stone Cold was bleeding more than what Randy Orton was. I mean gushing blood, like his whole face piling with blood, okay? Where his whole face was covered in blood while he's like, in his submission move and there's blood going in his mouth, okay? What Randy Orton got at SummerSlam is nothing to what Stone Cold got when he fought Bret Hart in that match. So clearly, that is not a lot of blood compared to what Stone Cold went through at Survivor Series when they had that match. Okay? But I wasn't shaken by it. I was not shaken by Randy Orton bleeding. I thought it was cool. I thought it was awesome. That made a match just a little bit more awesome. It wasn't that awesome, but you know, I was not shaken about it. You know, I wasn't expecting Randy Orton to be split open. Now, naturally, all these horrible stuff and clear open headshots meant that Randy Orton clearly needed to be tested for a concussion, among other things. Yeah, because what was going on is Brock Lesnar took off his glove and he was beating the crap out of Randy Orton, like actually like really like hitting you in the face. Okay, they had to test and make sure he didn't have a concussion, because if Randy Orton has a concussion, then he's going to be out for a while. Don't know how long he's going to be out for. Don't know how long he was going to be expected to be out for. So they had to make sure that Randy Orton was okay, and they had to test him. Now, it was confirmed that he didn't have a concussion. But Daily Wrestling News reported that, of course, Randy Orton had to get 10 staples to his head. That WWE reported, but also went through impact testing to make sure he didn't have a concussion. Multiple sources claim that Randy Orton did not have a concussion, which is good. I'm happy that guy didn't have a concussion, because we don't know if he, like I said, if he had a concussion, we want to know how long this guy was going to be out for. Okay, because if he was out, then that means, then what do? You only have John Cena and you have Brock Lesnar. Now, multiple other tests was rumored to have occurred, and Orton did not wrestle as much earlier this week. Most fans think that WWE had planned out was reckless. While most of the idea of a TKO finish was alright, I just didn't like the match. It was how they reached it truly very upset everyone. It did upset a lot of people, but like I said, I just thought, you know, this is the main event that you give us. You give us Brock Lesnar versus Randy Orton at SummerSlam, and the match wasn't even that long. You know, there was like an RKO, some suplexes, and you know, it really wasn't, you know, that enjoyable to watch. You know, I just knew what the outcome was going to be. I knew that Brock Lesnar was going to beat Randy Orton. That, Randy Orton did not have a chance to beat Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. And I complained, you know, that it shouldn't have been the main event. And look what we got. We got a crappy main event when the Finn Balor match was so much better. And I enjoyed it better than what we got earlier. Now, I was done, by the way, being back, okay. It was heavily reached after truly was upset with everyone. Many feel that the blood being back is alright to see. I think it's awesome. I think you should bring blood back in the WWE. There's nothing wrong with that. It makes the more wrestling more entertaining. It makes the fans go like, holy crap, this guy is bleeding. This guy just got hit with a chair shot and he's gushing with blood. You know, I don't think it's a bad thing. I think it just makes it more entertaining. It makes the fans get shocked and they get drawn into it more. You gotta have more realism in WWE. Enough of all this fake stuff. You gotta bring more realism to the WWE, to that ring. Okay? When I watched the Attitude Era, we saw people bleed all the time. There was a lot of realism in there, and I liked it. I enjoyed it. I was like, whoa, this is awesome. This is really true entertainment. Okay. Now, considering it was used a lot in other times, it's a PG era. However, the only way WWE would allow blood to be seen if a person is opened up the hard way, or by accident, or for real. What wrestlers us to give it was a gig, or cut themselves. Usually they would be done the hairline to the head or at the eyebrow. Or sometimes they blade, to make it look like they were bleeding. Like when Brock Lesnar went to the pole and he was bleeding, I think he bladed himself. Now, it was done as a hard way to get blood to come out as well. But hide the cut. It was also was a clot a bit easier than normal gash because the blade used to cut is basically a normal razor blade. While blood packets, see, they have blood packets. Like what you see on television and in the movies, it's useful. If it tends to look fake compared to the real material, it also does not flow. So fans can tell at home it works fine on stage or on a tape broadcast where you can edit any flaws. So the fans know when it's real blood or not. Some fans know if it's fake blood or real blood. WWE, however, this is not easy as one thinks, especially difficult on live broadcast, which is now 2 shows instead of just 1, making it a lot harder. Fans do want to see color again, which is fine. Gigging was never really seen as a bad thing. It is just that WWE didn't want to see blood. Don't want to see blood. That said, fans aren't mad about seeing blood, but rather seeing WWE superstars being forced to get cut open the hard way. It's more than unsafe to tell a WWE superstar to take an open elbow shot and punches to the head, unprotected. It's different if a talent gets randomly opened up during a match, as those things do happen and are obviously unplanned. However, planning out a time where a talent has to hurt themselves a good bit to get blood is obviously wrong and should go against many rules the business has on safety. Randy Orton was lucky to have a concussion, luckily to not have a concussion or any other serious injury, bearing the gash he has suffered in the match. There you go, guys. There's your big long episode, guys. Make sure you guys please definitely share this on all the platforms. Definitely hit that red subscribe button for me, guys, to get more WWE coverage. And follow me on Twitter at the Talk Show 101. The link will be in the description for you guys below. The article is below for you guys as well. Thank you all for viewing. Thank you all for watching. And guys, I will see you on the next show. Subscribe.